Hey everyone. So PulseCon has ended and the G.I. Joe team has revealed all of their new stuff for the classified series. We're going to take a look at it. I'll give you my impressions of it. Let's get started. All right. So to start things off, they revealed a few I don't know what you want to call them, a few figures that are on the horizon. Now these are obviously not pictures of those figures because they didn't have any renders, they didn't have any models or anything. So but they did announce that these three characters were on the way. That would be Buzzer, one of the Dreadnoks, the Snow Serpent, which we've got right there in the middle, which I'm looking forward to, and a Cobra Trooper, but this time the Cobra Trooper will be a female Cobra Trooper. I think this is great. I'm excited for all of these. In fact, there are very few of the GI Joe classified figures that I've been disappointed in. So I think they're going to do a pretty good job with these. Um, but we'll see them on the horizon. They're probably going to reveal those a little bit later on this year, probably at least the renders. Which let's talk about this for a second. Do we like this? Do we like that they reveal something or talk about something and then we don't see a digital render for 5 or 6 months, and then we see the digital render, and then 4 or 5 months later we see the actual figures or the prototypes, and then we can pre-order them, and then the pre-order happens, and then you don't see that figure for another 6 to 8 months, sometimes 12 months. I feel like I've got some figures that I pre-ordered. Well, yeah, I feel like, didn't the Tiger Force Outback, was that pre-ordered? Was that over the summer, or was that all the way back at the last um at the last PulseCon, about a year or so ago? Maybe it was over the summer and not the PulseCon. I'm not sure. Don't remember, but I don't I don't know if I'm a big fan of the way that they're revealing things. I know that they're kind of trickling things out as they go. In fact, to go along with that, before I don't know if anybody watched the pre-show. Now, the GI Joe classified stuff happened at, what was it? 1:15 Eastern time. Well, in the 15 minutes before the 1:15 Eastern time, it was either that or it was way at the beginning, at the pre show. I mean, way back when, which would have been Friday afternoon. There was a guy that announced that GI Joe Classified was going to come out with Hawk and Tripwire. So I can't remember because I watched the almost the full stream both days. I think that they may have. This was the guy who was doing the pre-show on Friday afternoon. Said, "Yeah, GI Joe Classified is coming up on Saturday, and ooh, I can reveal a couple of names to you." And he revealed Hawk and Tripwire. He gave a little description of both of them. If somebody remembers that, put it in the comments or something like that, if you would, just to help me make sure I'm not losing my mind. So, I mean, they're talking about figures that are probably over a year away, and I'm not so sure I like that. You get hyped for it, you get excited for it. You're like, yes, I'm going to pre-order everything, and you pre-order it, and then it sits there, and it sits there, and it sits there, and sometimes I forget the figures that I pre-ordered. I hate to say it, but I received a couple of Marvel Legend figures this past week that I had even forgot that I had pre-ordered at all. And that's just, I mean, I was glad to get them. I was pleasantly surprised when I got them, but it was it's just one of those things that I'm, it doesn't excite me that much knowing that, hey, you're announcing something. That's great. I'm excited about it, but I'm probably not going to even see it for another 12 to 18 months. So anyways, let's keep going. So like I said, they announced these three as pipeline figures. They don't call it pipeline, but whatever they call it, they announced these three figures on the way, or characters on the way. And then that pre show announced these two names. And I'm excited about these, but I don't know when we're going to see them. I really like the Tripwire. I think that one will be pretty interesting to see. All right, so let's get to the first few figures that they revealed. Now, these are all digital renders. They will be available for pre-order later in the year, but we get Rock and Roll, and I like Rock and Roll a lot. I love the heavy gunners a lot, and again, say what you will about the pre-orders and the lack of figures being on the shelves and everything else, they do a great job designing these figures. So I think the part that I like the best out of this is the green and tan shirt that he's got on. I like the two-tone shirt that he's got there, and I am looking forward to the little horns that he can give with his extra set of hands right here. The helmet looks pretty great as well. So I'm excited about this figure. This is definitely one that I'm going to get. In fact, I'll just let the cat out of the bag right now. I pre-ordered every single one of these figures that I could. I love this line. Let's take a look at Bazooka. Now, just like Rock and Roll, I wasn't super excited about hearing this first five that they are giving a digital render for, because we've heard this already. They told us about these figures. Just like I'm not probably not going to be like crazy excited about these three figures. The Buzzer and the Snow Serpent and the female trooper. I'm going to be excited when I can get them, but it's not that exciting to hear about them. Like, it's not that exciting to hear about Rock and Roll and see it, and hear about Bazooka and see it, because we've heard about them already. So I wish they would do something a little bit different with the timing of things, but that's just me. All right, then we get Torpedo. We were told about this one, but this figure looks great. There's so many accessories. The classified team does it really well when it comes to the accessories. I like how the clip can come out of the gun, the machine gun here. I really am looking forward to see all of this, the scuba gear on him. The colors look good. The red to accent the black and white, or black and gray, looks really nice as well. And one of the other things that they mentioned in the feed, or in the reveal, was that all of these weapons can fit on him. And that's probably one of the best things about the classified series, is all the accessories can fit on the figure in some way. And you don't see that in the other lines. You don't see that in Star Wars, the Black Series. You don't really see it that much in Marvel Legends. There's not a whole lot of accessories in Legends anyways, but all these accessories being able to fit on the figure, designed to fit on the figure, is definitely a positive thing. All right, let's keep going. They also revealed, Copperhead. And I think this looks really nice. They said that his machete would be able to fit onto his back. And that's really nice. He's got this gun holster on the front. I imagine this gun probably fits here, and his bigger gun probably on his hip. I am looking forward to this one as well. Now, if we're going to get Copperhead, we also got to get the vehicle to go along with them. I've been 3D printing some 1/12 size G.I. Joe vehicles. I got a video about the Skyhawk if you want to check that one out. And I'm probably going to be putting out another video shortly about a couple more vehicles that I've been 3D printing. But I'm going to need that vehicle to go with Copperhead here. Let's keep going. So then we get to Shipwreck. Shipwreck looks great. I love the fact that he's going to have he's got the hat and a set of hair. I'm curious. His hair looks kind of interesting. I'm curious to see what the hair looks like on top of his head. But the rope comes off, but it's there in order to have Polly perched on his shoulder. We've got two different guns, and we've got the grappling hook here as well. I really like that they made a big deal out of his chest hair. It's kind of hard to see in the digital render here, but the chest hair is a nice added touch. They really do. I feel like, of all the teams, the Black Series team, the Marvel Legends team, the Classified team, I feel like the Classified team is doing the best. I feel like they're adding a little touch here, a little touch there, just to kind of bring these things to life. And I would say that the reason is because everything is new. Marvel Legends, you can only release Spider-Man so many times, and it's still just Spider-Man with a new paint job. And the same thing with Star Wars. I mean, in the Star Wars reveal today, I don't want to go into it too much, but there were multiple just re-releases on a different card. And Star Wars and Marvel Legends has been around for so long that it's almost like they're running out of new ideas, and there has to be something that kind of sparks new interest in those lines, because when I look at social media, I hear a lot more complaining about what people are getting in those lines than I do the GI Joe classified line. And it's because everything that we see is new. Okay. Everything that we see is new. Except for the three different roadblocks that we got, which is kind of interesting that they kept going. They did three different roadblocks. I think they finally got it right with the last one. But anyways, again, I'm kind of chasing a rabbit there, but I'm just trying to give some opinions. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. I'm sure that if you're interested in the classified series, the GI Joe series, you're probably interested in some of those other lines as well. So love to hear what you think about that. But Shipwreck, definitely going to pre-order it when it's available. All right, let's keep going. Oh, so they took a little bit of time to show the two of the figures for the His Tank Haslab, and I think these look pretty great. I had actually forgotten that the one of the figures was going to be a female His Tank technician, but I like the look of it, and I imagine that we're going to get, let's face it, the Cobra Trooper female, the female Cobra Trooper is going to look similar to this. It's going to have similar dimensions, and eh, it's going to look like a female Cobra Trooper. But I think a lot of people will be excited about that because these troop builders. But this is a nice figure. It turned out to be a little bit nicer than I thought it would be. I like the blue chest plate on the red. And then those big black boots, those tall black boots look pretty great as well. The accessories look cool too. I like those as well. And then we get the Cobra Commander. Now, I'm not super excited about the fact that this is the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander, but what that just tells us is that they are going to release this Cobra Commander again without the Mickey Mouse emblem. And if for those of you that don't know what the Mickey Mouse emblem is, if you look closely here, this Cobra on his chest kind of looks like Mickey ears. And this was actually the way that the figure was released originally, the very first time, at least to my knowledge. The original Cobra Commander had the Cobra symbol looked like Mickey ears up at the top. And then when they started to re-release him on, multiple times, they fixed that, or I don't even know if you would say they fixed it. They just changed the Cobra symbol to be more like this one over here. So this is the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. I do like this accessory, him holding the world with the Cobra wrapped around it. I think that looks pretty great. The helmet, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the helmet almost looks a little bit too tall, but I'll reserve judgment till I see it in person. All right, let's keep going. So here are the figures that we can pre-order today. Some of these at the time that I was recording this video, because I was running a little bit behind. Some of these are already sold out, at least on Hasbro Pulse. I feel like I saw that you might be able to pre-order some of these that are sold out on Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, maybe some of those bigger retailers as well, because I don't think any of these initial ones are exclusives. So we get the Marauders barbecue. I like it, but we already have a barbecue. Thankfully, this is the only repaint that we really have, if I'm remembering correctly. It looks good. I like the blue and the green. I think this pose is pretty awesome, and I like the diorama. So it's a great picture right there. Um, Little bit disappointing that they're going to a repaint this early in the line, but it is what it is. It's a nice looking figure, and it it's one that I'm gonna get. All right, let's keep going. I lied. We do have another repaint, but this repaint is an army builder at least. This isn't just a character that we've already seen, a unique character with a different paint job, but we've got the Crimson Bats. Slight difference on the chest piece right here. Just a little bit different chest piece. It's got the Cobra symbol on it. I still don't understand why they didn't do a clear chest piece on the original bat. I think that would have been better. Looks like we're going to get 2 chest pieces, just like the original bat that they came out with. But the red does look great. And some of these accents on the side, so it's not just a red pair of pants, but we've got some battle damage on the side. I like that as well. So great figure. This one is sold out on Hasbro Pulse at the time of me making this video. So might have trouble finding that, but I like it. I've got a few of the regular bats. These are going to fit right in, along with my Crimson Guardsmen, who I actually got recently, but I still do not have my Zaymot and Tomax, so I'm hoping to get those soon. All right, so the next one that we saw was Falcon, and I like Falcon. I think it looks pretty good. They talked a little bit in the video that the lights in the studio really didn't do the green figure, the green paint job justice, and I would agree. In this production photo, it looks a lot brighter, which I like. The backpack looks good. There's something about his face, though. He just looks a little bit off. I mentioned in one of my other videos, reveal videos, I think it was the Marvel Legends one, mentioned that it would be nice if we could get more than one head sculpt for each one of these figures. I mean, we're starting to pay a little bit more. I do think that we're getting a little bit more bang for our buck with the classified series because of all the accessories, but I just really think collectors would love, especially photographers, they would love to have more than one head. We've got the very neutral face right here, but how about a head sculpt where he's yelling, where he's smiling or smirking, something just a little bit different to give these figures just a little bit more character. I think that collectors would really appreciate that, especially those that take their figures out of the box, out of the packaging. All right, let's keep going. We've got Outback. Now, this is the de-aged they joked about Outback. I still do not have my Outback, Tiger Force Outback that I mentioned earlier, hoping to get that sometime soon. This one looks pretty good. The one thing that I don't really have a picture of it, and you can't see it very well over here, his orange hair, arm hair, looked kind of odd to me when I was watching the feed. But this figure looks pretty great. The accessories look good. I love the white shirt along with the darker pants, the green pants, the backpack, the guns look good. This looks like what is that? That's a flashlight, it looks like, as one of his accessories. Yeah, here it is right here on his hip. I think that's a nice little touch right there, too. So nice figure. I know I'm saying a lot of good things about this, but it's really great. These are really great figures. I just hope that we get them sooner rather than later. Next up, we had CoverGirl. We knew she was coming. I think she looks really nice. The pants, the orange pants, the green and brown boots. I did a custom CoverGirl just for my own collection, kind of cobbled together a few things. And this one definitely looks better than my custom. I used a Sue Storm head and put it on a Lady J body and painted it up and everything. I think it looks pretty good, but this looks better. This really does. The head sculpt is really nice. The jacket with the fringe on the top of it, I like a lot. All the little accessories that they were talking about in the video is nice too. You get a little computer screen, little iPad looking screen. You've got the wrench. This shotgun looks awesome as well. The color scheme looks a little bit different between the two pictures, but again, I think that has something to do with the studio lights for this picture on the right. All right. Next, we have Serpentor. Now, we saw Serpentor at San Diego Comic-Con. It got revealed. And one of the things that we noticed was that it had like 2 types of heads. One where the cowl of the cobra is kind of connected to his mask and his helmet, and one where it wasn't connected. I think that the one that we're seeing in these pictures right here looks a little bit better. But the chariot, we get a much better look at the chariot. the accessories. This giant cobra here. He's got his staff. He's got this sword, soft good cape. I like that a lot. This is just a really nice figure, and it's a little pricey. It's $80, but at the same time, at this point in time, if you haven't pre-ordered one, it's already sold out. So this was a PulseCon exclusive. My gut tells me they're going to release this figure again, maybe without the chariot. But Serpentor is just way too popular for them to not release this figure again in some way. Like I said, maybe without the chariot, but he sold out pretty quickly. It did get past the premium members. It got past 5 o'clock all the way to 6 o'clock, but once it hit 6 o'clock, he sold out pretty shortly after that. 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So he lasted the premium members. It got to the non-premium members, but after that, it went pretty fast. All right, let's wrap this up. So we got 5 figures that could be pre-ordered. The Crimson Bats are already sold out. Actually, CoverGirl is sold out as well. And then we've got the exclusive Serpentor. He sold out. All of these, I'm very excited about them. The one that I'm probably least excited about is the barbecue. And then probably after that, the Falcon, mainly because I think his face looks a little bit weird to me for whatever reason. Then I would probably say the one I'm most excited about is CoverGirl. I just think that figure looks great. And then the Bat, and then Outback. So I like all of these. Serpentor should be out. They're saying that Serpentor should be delivered by the end of the year. Whereas these, the shipping date is like next summer. So we got a while to wait before we see these in our hands. But the Serpentor, there's a good chance. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that we might see them before the winter holidays, Christmas time. So there is that. Those are my thoughts on the GI Joe Classified series, the reveals that they had today. I wish that they would do things a little bit different with their reveals so that we could feel the hype and then receive the hype that we're waiting for a little bit sooner. But that's the way that it is, I guess, in the world the toy world that we live in today. If you enjoyed this, great. Leave me a comment. If you didn't enjoy this, leave me a comment. Give me a suggestion on what I could do better. Does my voice sound weird? Are the videos too long? Am I giving too much news and not enough opinion, or the other way around? I just do this for fun. I enjoy it, but I would love to grow the channel just a little bit. So if you like it, share it. If you don't like it, let me know why you didn't like it. And I would love to get a follow on Instagram. I am Star Wars Makes Things Better on Instagram. So if you want to check out my toy photography pictures on there, I would love that as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you made it this far into the video, you probably at least enjoyed it a little bit, and hopefully you have a great day.